There are moments when we feel alone, defeated, and hopeless. And there are times that these emotions can cause people to take extreme actions in order to make the pain fade away. One of these means of ridding such feelings is suicide. This word often creates unease and even fear. However, it is something that should be addressed. In 2011, 39,518 suicides were reported, making suicide the 10th leading cause of death for Americans. That would mean that someone committed suicide roughly every 13 minutes, a startling number when put into perspective of time. Suicide is often caused by depression, sexuality, bullying, or traumatic life events. What if there is another factor that we are failing to notice? Media has become such a large part of daily life in the past decade, and it is only growing, most recently morphing into a way of communication, which can be seen in various social media sites like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Now there are infinitely more ways to share, post, or like about a famous person's suicide, or anyone's for that matter. This exploitation of suicide has seen a large correlation in others killing themselves. This is shown as suicide contagion. Similar to a virus, it spreads the details, pictures, and even the means of a person's self-inflicted death, off to another bystander that did not play a part in the awful occurrence. This can either spark suicidal thoughts or deepen depression, causing the recipient to act in a similar fashion. In South Korea, 430 excess suicides occurred following the suicide and media coverage of a popular actress. However, this was thought to be due to the violations of guidelines distributed by the Suicide Prevention Research Center on reporting on suicide. These safeguards clearly state to avoid including graphic images, means of the death, and any message that would seem to be promoting suicide as a positive escape. Dr. Madeleine Gowles also found a large correlation between the amount of coverage and the amount of copycat suicides. She did this by comparing the amount of articles and their content in local newspapers. At first, she found that it was due to the quantity of articles. However, the correlation with content was even larger. While including certain aspects of a suicide can be detrimental, it can also push others to seek help. Only a few months ago, Robin Williams, a beloved comedian and actor, committed suicide. Although there was a lot of media coverage on this occurrence, a variety of internet sites and phone numbers were heavily mentioned and encouraged in newspaper articles and media, resulting in a dramatic spike of people seeking help and advice. Emails, Facebook messages, and calls soared for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline received its greatest number of calls since its creation. This was due to journalists mentioning where one can seek advice, and also by avoiding romanticizing his suicide or making it appear to be something positive. Suicide contagion is influenced by the quality, not quantity, of media coverage. If it is inappropriately reported on, it can influence many to follow in a similar fashion. On the opposite spectrum, informative media can cause those contemplating suicide to seek help. If you or a loved one is contemplating suicide, please call 1-800-273-TALK or visit www.asp.org. Thank you.